Chock, if you're watching, I would like to apply to be your son-in-law. You can do with that information what you will. Mike, I'm not going to give you any more information because I call dibs. Okay. So
Okay.
during my research, I would like to apply to be Chock's son-in-law.
Okay.
No further things there, except he does seem like a strong, dependable, honest man that I would honestly be honored to call him my father-in-law. So
So what about him gave you
what about
the
Chock
penalty?
makes me want to be his son-in-law?
Yeah.
It would have to be, I think, his attractive daughter. Hey guys, welcome back to BachMakers, your favorite show that recaps all things Bachelor Nation. Before we continue with this episode, we're going to ask you very nicely, Michael, please deliver the news.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And share.
In that order, or reverse the order. It doesn't matter to us. Just do those things. Helps us. Enjoy this episode. We'll see you. We'll see you in the episode. Just keep watching. All right. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BachMakers, presented by Good Time Media. I'm Wyatt. That's Michael. And we have a very special guest to recap Joan's hometowns today. Someone who we just saw on our TV screen, made her national TV debut today. Let's give it up for Taylor, aka Chock's daughter. Taylor, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Just watched the episode. That was crazy to watch, but it was really fun.
How do you feel your national TV debut went?
I did send a text. So when I did cry, I walked up to the camera guy and I said, "I will do anything if you delete that footage." And we have a big group chat of like all of my dad's friends and everything. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on here, so you can cut it if not. But yeah. I said, "I just cried on national TV. I'm never getting any bitches again." So I really didn't think it was going to make it, but like it did.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so fun. I feel for you because I can't imagine the anxiety of like not knowing what they're going to show.
Oh, no clue. And I mean, it was such a long day. I wasn't nervous at all until like 10 minutes before. And then everything I said that day started to run through my mind. And of course we were the last ones. So it just kept building up. I was like, what am I going to say? What are we going to do? Like, how are they going to, so it was a lot, but I think it like went very well. And it was like respectful of my grandmother and everyone. So
yeah. And first and foremost, obviously very sorry for your loss. And I'm sure that was so hard to like deal with within the context of the show. So I think you all handled that very well. And again, just sorry for your loss. I can't imagine dealing with that.
Yeah, definitely like was not ideal timeline, but
yeah,
it happens.
Yeah. Michael, what did you, what, from your perspective, how do you think, we'll just talk about Chock's date and then at the end we'll recap the other dates. How do you think Chock handled himself?
I thought those type of hometown dates were the best. You know, it's just you're on a ranch, you're in the backyard, grilling out. You're just, how many people were there? There was like what 20? Felt like 20 people there, maybe more. I don't know. I can't count. It just felt like a good time. It was a beautiful day out too. It's just the vibes were high. And Chock obviously stoked as always in his Peyton Manning voice and everything. It was electric. I think he did a great job. Great job for the squad. My fantasy team already lost, but
yeah,
proud to have Chock represent.
Is it weird that we're just like calling him Chock? Because like that's your dad. Like this is such a strange vibe right now that I'm trying to figure out. This is awesome. So glad to have you on the show, but I'm not quite sure how to attack this.
Oh, you can call him Chock. It does not bother me. I call him Chalky Chock.
Okay.
So that's his nickname, or just dad.
I'm a little upset we didn't get any what did he call it? Chock-a-noodle soup or something? Didn't he say
Chock? That's what he brought Joan out of the
limo, right?
Yes.
Chock.
And I feel like heartbreaking because Super Tubbs was there and he didn't make his TV debut. And I mean,
yeah,
I think Super Tubbs has more fans than anyone in our family.
Yeah, so I feel like we missed some. Did you think, I'm assuming you sat down and talked with your dad. We didn't see that conversation. They usually show a little bit of that. What did we miss from that?
I think it was just like, it was kind of like, it was a lot of like reiteration. I feel like everyone was just like, he's obviously like an upbeat guy, but he's been like kind of down for a while. And so it was like weird seeing him so happy. and everyone was like, oh, like this is real, because like it was kind of a joke, it was a bit to all of us, like he was
Yeah.
there. And then we were like, oh my god, wait, what? Like this is actually happening, this, like, the feelings there are real. And so it was just weird, but he was just so stoked and like so happy. He, like, it was cool to hear him talk about like all the friendships he had made, and like he told us, he was like, it's kind of like therapy there, because so many guys have like the same experience, or I mean, they're all like old men, like they do share a lot in common, and like with aging and all that stuff. So it was like fun to hear that side of what goes on the show, and just like how happy he was. And we got to sit down with Joan, and she was like the sweetest lady I've ever talked to.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. So for did Chuck like apply for the show, or did you, or maybe your brother nominated him, or how did he hear about going on
I
The Bachelor?
applied him and I didn't tell him. And
That's great.
I also, like, you can fill out the application like for yourself or for someone else. And I filled it out pretending to be him. And the funny part about it was, like, I mean, my dad's, like, obviously everyone knows he's like pretty serious, but like he is really funny. And I hate to say it, but I think I have a better sense of humor than him. And so he was like going through the interviews, and they were like, "Did you fill this out? Like, you are not as funny as your application." And he had to tell them, he was like, "No, that was my daughter." Um, but yeah, so he called me. He was like, "What the hell did you do?" Like, I'm like, "Just go with it." I was like, "I know it's not like your comfort, but I think you would, like, it could be so good for you."
It feels like it was, and
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
we don't know how this plays out. I'm not going to ask you.
Oh, I don't.
You,
I'm watching with everyone else.
I mean, that's a lie because he's your dad, but you know how this ends. You don't have to lie to us there, but we're not going to ask you. We would never do that, as we are fans of the show. We want to watch along with the rest of America. So you talked about your initial meeting with Joan. So when you applied him for this, were you like, I think Joan would be a good fit? Have you watched the show? Did you know anything about it? Or was it just like one of your friends say, hey, this is a funny bit, someone apply their dad, and then you fell through with it?
So it was started out like my group chat with like all my best friends from college. One of the girls was like, Chock would be perfect for this, because he's like, he would come for like every dad's weekend and come up every once in a while, and he was always a blast, and everyone loved him. So she sent it. I was like, yes, I'm filling that out right now. And it was like a bit, like, we joked about it all the time. And then obviously I knew like things started progressing, and I was like, he might be on the show. But like didn't tell anyone until it like got leaked. So that was crazy. Um, and then when he found out, he was like like he didn't really like want to do it at first. And I like showed him Joan, and I have screenshots, but when I filled out the application, I wrote for Joan. So I was like, she's his type, like physically and like the way she acts. So like from what I saw on the Golden Bachelor, like I didn't watch the whole season, but like I knew what was going on. And
Yeah.
so I did write like just for Joan.
Wow. I love that. That's all. Did you ever notice that he sounds like Peyton Manning? Because he does.
I didn't until somebody, like, I read a comment and I was like, oh, that is spot on.
It's insane because they have this commercial that airs right before, like, they cut back to the show, and it's Peyton Manning about to announce like the CMAs or something. And I'll always be working. Michael made this comment last week. We'll be working. We'll hear Peyton Manning talk and think it's your dad, so we think we're back on, and then it's not. It's so trippy. But he's exactly like Peyton Manning, and just like Peyton Manning, I think funnier than we probably give him credit for.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, no, the Peyton Manning thing is really weird, like now, because I've known that voice my whole life, and now it's forever ruined.
Well, yes. Well, sorry. Yeah, Wyatt's kind of first. I think the first TikTok we made about your dad.
Don't say it like that. That makes it feel weird.
Well, it's true. I don't know any way to
Yeah.
phrase it. Wyatt was like, he talks like he's always about to close a merger, and I mixed that with the Peyton Manning thing, and that's just the only thing I think of now, and I can't get out of my head. So, but it's it's a unique, like
Yeah.
fun, and you always know when Chalk's talking.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like been my favorite comment of people's the whole season, is like that he's so businessy. I'm like, try growing up with that. When I would get in trouble, like he has his business, and when I would get in trouble, he would put like a nominal amount on it, and I'd get paid. He'd be like, you getting caught drinking is worth $60, and then I would have to go work off $60 at this company, and I think I would get paid. It was some ridiculous amount, like $4 an hour, but like everything had a price. Like he is the businessman through and through.
That's awesome.
Very-
That's very on
that's-
brand for Chock. That's
Yeah, that's actually great. That really ties in with the like the
Did
picture
you-
we see.
Are you again? I guess you don't have to answer this. Are you watching this like with him? Have you watched episodes with him? Or I know you've mentioned to us you just moved. Have you like how is he handling watching it and then on the other side the internet reacting to him?
I told him, because like I'm insane. Like I've read every comment everywhere.
Oh no.
Um,
Oh.
but we told him, we're like, just delete everything. Like we have a friend helping him out with like some Instagram stuff, because we're like, first of all, he still thinks Instagram's a website. Same with Facebook. No apps. So we're all helping him out with that. But I mean, we like talk. Him and I talk on the phone probably 3 times a day, and he'll ask. And at first, he was reading and stuff, and like it was crazy for him. And then we were like, you should just probably stop reading. I think it was last week. We're like, just no more of that. Like you don't need to see that. But he watches with like all of the guys that were there at the hometown episode today, and like they're his besties, so they get together and watch all the episodes. So
That's awesome. Have you so you yourself, you say you read all the comments. There's been a history of this show, not our show, but the franchise, where family members get involved and they start going at fans. How close are you to like commenting back and just going to war?
I have responded to one person and one person only.
Call them out.
And she blocked me right after, but I'm like, okay, like I will admit that I'm insane. These people do not admit it. And I'm like, it is so weird how obsessive these people get. This one lady gets on every single morning, and she has 3 accounts, and she leaves the most vile comments. And I'm like, that's embarrassing for you. And I write down my comment back to her in my notes, and then I delete it, because I'm like, I'm not insane. Like I'm not going to do that on social media to someone I don't know. And then one day she said something really mean about my grandma.
Oh.
My dead grandma. And so I fired back. I did, and then she immediately blocked me, but I felt good after.
Yeah, yeah. You have all our support. Release the names. Well, if you don't want to get dirty, get your hands dirty, we'll do it for you. This is our job. Like I'll go to war for
I
Chock.
have her Fred's account, found like all of her multiple
Let's
Facebooks, and then I'm like, wait, that's like embarrassing on her end. So I don't like it. Doesn't bother me. I'm like, these people need to get more creative with their insults anyways. It's the same 5 mean comments just over and over. So I'm like, oh well.
Yeah, I mean, again, we can talk after. You let us know. We will release the hounds and we'll go after them.
Blast her.
I think
We've noticed there's a lot of keyboard warriors, especially in some of ours that get a lot of comments. They're just very questionable, and it's always the accounts with, no profile picture, and I don't know.
Yeah, the problem is we don't want to like, because we have a show that talks about the show, so we're of course going to get some of those weird people in our comments. We try to keep it as fun as possible, but some people just can't take the joke, and then I think the furthest we go is we call them geezers, which I think they're fine with.
Oh, I think geezers is a great word.
Yeah, and it's just alliterative, so we can go golden geezers, and it's perfect.
I mean, if you're putting yourself out on the internet, you have to know it's kind of what's going to come. I think my dad had no clue. I think he thought.
Well, he didn't willingly do it. You applied him.
I think he thought maybe like 10,000 people would watch this show in the first week. I was like, Dad, look at it on Hulu. Like it's like trending. He was like, what? I was like, oh, surprise!
No.
Like things are going to be different for a while here. But
So did he watch any of Gary's season at all, or has he watched any of the franchise, or know any how it works or anything?
And I think that's part of the reason. Like, I give a little bit of credit to the haters from last week. Like he was hogging the screen, but I'm like, he's never in his life done an open relationship, which is what you could call this show, and it would stress me out too. So
That's a very good point. It's so valid.
Give all these
Wyatt himself kind of said that Chock You said
What are we
Chock
doing?
was. Chock
I
was
said they
kind
tried
of
to
getting
make
a
him the
villain.
villain. I said they tried to make him the villain,
They
Michael.
tried
I
to.
didn't say he was. I'm still Team Chock.
I'm
Oh
I'm
no,
just
he was
saying.
he
You
was
said
the
he got
villain 100%.
indebted.
Like we could say that. I'm really comfortable saying that, and we tell him that. Like we all week we were like, "What's up, villain?" Like he, we let him know our feelings. But I think it was a little blown out of proportion. But for sure, the villain was there, and it was him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I think they were at a point where they were grasping for straws because this is a great group of geezers and they're all awesome from what we can tell. So they were like, we gotta create some drama here. So they edited it that way. So that's the storyline I'm going with. Have you met any of the other geezers?
I've talked with a few of them. Had some phone calls. A few of them I helped out with like some Instagram stuff because, like I said, these guys think Instagram's a website, and they will go on Safari on their phones and log in, which is just the funniest thing ever to me.
That could be a job. Like you could have a full-time job of with the Golden franchise teaching these guys social media.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, but they are all just like the sweetest guys, and like listening to their friendship is so cute. Like we could never get this on the normal Bachelor franchise.
Oh, yeah. Who if you don't mind me asking, who all have you talked to, interacted with?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but the
That's
ones
fair.
I
Just
can
nod if you've seen Charles L and have talked to him, just give me a nod.
I haven't, but he's really high up there in my
I love
favorites. And
I love him.
a few of these guys, I'm like, I have to be biased. Like I have to have a favorite, and I have to root for one person. But like my number 2 and 3 come really close.
That's crazy. You like root
You
against your
have
dad.
to.
I'm like, Dad, you're awesome, but like these guys are too. Like
Yeah. Like Pascal's got a sick accent. Like you can't that's hilarious. That's
But I
awesome.
do think, like, at the end, I'm like, we need a support group of like all the children come together. Like, we had to watch our parents make out
Yeah.
on TV, and like, the other thing about it too, like with the hate comments, people have been like Instagram DMing me hate comments. I'm
That's
like, I can
crazy.
pass along if you really want them to see it, like, I will pass it along. But like, what makes you think like you should send that to their kids?
Insane. No, this franchise is insane. I don't know if we help or hurt it, but sorry if we hurt it somehow. But
I'm here for it. It's okay.
yeah, no, there's some crazy people out there. How is that watching your dad make out on television? Chalk's a kisser. He's a kisser.
Tonight's was for sure the hardest one. I had to pillow in the face, and then the watching him strip was also something
Oh yeah.
I will never unsee, and I really wish I would have like stepped out for that part.
Oh man, yeah, that one's tough.
Yeah.
Mike, do you have anything else for Taylor here before we go into the other hometowns?
Gosh.
I was trying to think
No,
of
you're-
all
you're
the
kinda-
hot takes we've had about Chock in the past and like just apologizing because we were probably wrong. Going through our PowerPoints about him. What's the name Chock? Is that so? It's a nickname.
Charles.
So it's Charles Chock Chapel, like
Mhm.
nickname Chock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does anything to do with like Kansas, like Rock Chalk?
No, he didn't even go to KU. He went
Oh,
to
where do All right, cool enough. All right, Mike. Anything else before we do the real quick run through the other three?
No, I think you inspired me to fill out the application for the Golden Bachelor for my mom. And
You should.
see
Is your mom single?
yeah.
Well,
So-
if Chalk's single, we don't need the show, but who knows? Hopefully we're rooting for. Hopefully Chalk is with Joan and like Joan's in the other room right now with you, and she's just like listening in. So who knows?
I don't know.
But all right, we'll hop into the other three real quick. Jordan's hometown, they go to Chicago. Mike, where you're at right now, I'll give you the
Yeah.
floor. How to do Chicago style thoughts?
I mean, it brought a smile to my face just seeing, the Chicago, the river walk is what they call it when they first met. They were there, and then they went up on the bridge and did a Chicago handshake, which I've probably made you do a Chicago handshake when you visited me. What, right?
What's the Chicago hand?
If not, so it's a shot of Malort and then an Old Style, which is a type of beer that's like from Chicago.
Oh, I think you wanted me to do it and I
That's-
didn't.
Okay, so you soft. right? But Joan did it, and she's 60, so soft. But no, it was sick. I actually wrote that down because I was like, that was hilarious how she did the shot of Malort and was like, oh my God, that was the worst thing ever. Because Malort is just like, actually, if you haven't tried it, you will try it once. But it is so bad. Like, it is just known for being just insanely bad. Um, but I mean, the rest of the date was cool too. Seems like he has a freaking nice house in, I don't know, Lincoln Park or Lakeview or whatever that was.
Yeah, so we were talking off air that in the past they've had fake houses or houses set up for these hometown dates. Like it's not actually their home. Obviously for Chock, I'm assuming that was actually his friend's ranch, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. So yeah, so I don't think they staged that, but this could be Jordan's house, maybe not, but we meet Jordan's family who seemed cool enough, and I think it was just at the point with them where Jordan clearly wasn't there, Joan clearly wasn't there, so it was like I like you, you're cool, but time's an issue here.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how it was. I mean, I kind of knew after the hometown date, I was like, he is for sure gone. Like, there's just nothing. At least with like, I feel like Pascal, Guy, and Chock, there's just way more of a spark. But with Jordan, there's like, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he wasn't even sad when he left. He was like, yeah, it's all right, see you later.
whatever.
See you at the
Back to
reunion.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is crazy that they have to the travel they have to do, because imagine traveling, going to your hometown, film for one day, and then fly back just for a rose ceremony.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
Oh, wait, question, Taylor. Again, you might not be able to answer this. I'm gonna poke the bear a little bit. So after you film the hometown, does your dad just leave and like you don't see him again?
Yeah.
He doesn't like spend a night there?
I don't know if he spent the night. I mean, I stayed at our home,
Okay.
and he didn't come home.
Oh man, that's crazy. Are you like, hey, maybe come back with the ring?
I didn't know. And then our dog Tubbs, it was the saddest thing ever, sat by the front door all night because he had seen my dad in so long, just waiting for him to come home, and it like actually broke my heart.
Oh,
That is so sad.
that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
That hurt.
Oh, poor
That's
Tubbs.
so sad.
That's tough. But yeah, I mean that was it with Jordan. It just, I think everyone who watched that episode knew, hey, Jordan's probably going home, and that's all right. I don't think anyone was really that caught up about it. He was like, yeah, let's move on.
Still the only one that.
Jordan would be like one of my votes for the next Golden Bachelor.
Oh yeah, he seems cool. He seems like a cool dude.
Like all season he laid real low.
Yeah.
Everyone liked him. There was nothing bad to say. He's a cool guy.
Who else would you put on that list of Golden Bachelor? Ours, we've said whoever. I think we've put your dad on that list.
Yeah.
We said Guy maybe, but doesn't have the.
No, we did not say Guy. We said
say
no.
Guy. Charles L. We definitely want. Mark is probably up there, and then
Jonathan.
Yeah.
My number one pick would be Gary.
Oh yeah. I don't think they would do it. But
I think like his personality is there, and he's like he would keep it going. Like I think Mark is the sweetest guy ever, but I feel like this season didn't have enough drama, and I do think, as much as I love the wholesomeness, like I think they need not even drama, but just like some zest.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think they could come back and do it better than who was it? Rachel, the duo season.
Rachel and Gabby. Yeah.
I think if they brought one or two guys, or like 2 or 3 guys, but did it set up different.
We said Mark and Charles L.
Oh, that would be good. Charles L.
Yes.
My king.
Oh, I don't know where his hoodie is. I wore his hoodie today. We made hoodies with his face on it. It was awesome. But yeah, he's the best.
I'll send you guys. We have a bunch of Chock noodle soup shirts.
Oh, we can do a jersey swap. I'll send you a Charles L. hoodie.
Perfect.
There we go. That's awesome. Yeah, so that would be great Golden Bachelor season. And we'll definitely I'm going to put you on the spot here. If your dad ends up winning this show and ends up engaged to Joan, can we have you back on the show and then we can actually talk?
I cannot speak on anything, but like.
Fair. Good answer.
I don't know anything.
Media trained.
I'm just
Yeah,
a
she's
girl.
good.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah. I'm literally just a.
It's good. That was a test. ABC put me up to that. You passed. Congrats. All right, let's move on to who do you want to do next, Guy or Pascal? Mike.
Let's stay in Chicago, which is he's actually from what suburb? He's from like a north suburb of Chicago. He's not actually from in Chicago. Just saying. Um, but let's do Pascal. We see his salon, which looked like it just kept going back and back. There was just
It's huge.
normally salons are like small, right? It was a huge salon with like billions of workers, right?
Yeah, it was massive.
Like,
It was,
am I crazy?
no, it was a literal
The
empire.
biggest salon I've ever seen in my life.
It was like multiple
and I've been to
floors.
some salons, right? Yeah, multiple floors.
And he was king there. He walked in and it was like Willy Wonka and his chocolate factory. He was like, I'm here. The king is back. And they all applauded. They went crazy for him. They love him there. I keep looking for things to switch on Pascal because he seems like it feels like he's so close to like having a red flag, but he doesn't. He's awesome. He's the coolest dude.
Yeah, I did think it was kind of weird. So, he's giving Joan the kind of tour of the salon, and then Joan starts washing the hair of somebody like getting a haircut. And I just wrote down like, imagine you're getting a haircut, and all of a sudden a camera crew comes up to you, and then some random older person starts massaging shampoo into your head that's not your hairstylist. I would be really creeped out personally and very confused. But
yeah, good point.
It's Joan and she's doing bachelorette, so she can do what she wants.
I feel like it was kind of the same as like you go to the doctor and it's like the medical student. They're like, "Do you mind if they try this out?" And you're like, I don't know if I'm comfortable, but you kind of have to let it happen.
Yeah, you can't say no. You're like, get out of here.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
He's the man in that place. And we have to talk a little bit briefly about his son. I texted you, Michael. His son it felt like he was almost hitting on Joan. The way he said, "Hey, can we talk for a minute, Joan?" And then I was like,
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be parties here.
He's definitely Pascal's son. He's got that kind of flair to him. But
and he's got the bracelets.
Yeah,
too.
they had matching bracelets.
Got all the
Great head of hair too. Great hair. He got a lot of screen time. He got the most screen time out of anyone that wasn't a contestant on the show.
Yeah, I think so. Which is weird because Pascal's daughter is actually like TikTok famous.
What?
Right?
I didn't know this.
Like, I swear to God, it's a thing. Swear to God,
She
Pascal's
reposted
oldest daughter.
one of our videos.
I swear she has.
I don't know how to Google
I saw
Pascal's
TikTok,
daughter, so I have no way to
because
look
I think
that up.
the last name's different too. But I'll try to find it after.
Anyways. But yeah, no, Pascal. But again, he's perfect. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's just the coolest dude. He's going through we compared him to Maria a lot, which even at this point, Maria was a little more edgier than
100%.
Pascal. Pascal hasn't done anything wrong, even though it feels like he should at this point. I don't know what it is about him. He feels like there should be something wrong there, but it's not. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that was the thing that was wrong was, I guess, he didn't know how to do his own laundry, right? And it was kind of a little bit.
There was that.
But that's not really a red flag in a sense. So, yeah. Smooth sailing.
And then last hometown date, Guy. Lake Tahoe seems like the coolest place on earth. I've never been. Have either of you?
Yeah. I've been twice.
I think I was like a baby.
You've been twice, Michael?
Yeah. Well, I went to one. I just went to Reno, Nevada, but the second time I skied at Lake Tahoe.
How was it? Was it
last year? Well, it wasn't the middle of the summer. It was February and snowy.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really that beautiful lake. It was like snow-capped mountains, which was still sick. But it was cool.
I do feel like the other three guys get like an extra bonus point because I would be so pissed off personally if you're going to hometown dates and you get flown to Wichita, Kansas. Like it has to be like probably the worst spot for a hometown in the history.
What would you do? Let's say you're on the show and you have to plan a hometown date for Wichita, Kansas, what are you guys doing?
Like, I'm not kidding when I say, like, growing up, our adventure was like Sonic or a hookah bar.
Sounds awesome.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
Get your
that's pretty good
soda,
time.
get your hookah. Like, that is like all the, like, there's a reason I do not live there. Like, it is, don't want to hate on Wichita too much, but like, there's nothing.
Fair. Well, you guys made the most of it. That looked like fun.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the city of Wichita, like and like Chicago's so fun, and Lake Tahoe is like the most beautiful place. So it's like, it really was like kind of some minus points there.
Yeah. No, we've talked about that a lot. Where like I'm in Indiana, it's like I would lie about where I'm from if I was on this show. I'd be like, oh, I'm from Vegas. Let's go to Vegas for a hometown. Like, there's nothing to do. I don't know what I would plan a
What do you
hometown
mean?
date around. What, Mike? What would we do?
We'd go walk around Walmart. That's like the classic.
You walk the Monon Trail and then just, I don't know, go with Caitlin Clark. Go watch the Fever play. That's what we do.
Honestly, try to use it as an excuse to like go in Lucas Oil on the field or something.
Yeah, do stuff that I would do around here. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Courtside for a Fever game would kind of be sick.
That'd be sick. And then Caitlin Clark joins in on the.
Oh, if I got on the, if I could, so I have to go on the Bachelorette, make hometowns, all just to meet Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
worth it. Worth it.
I hate to change the subject, but would you guys go on the Bachelorette?
Mike, you want to answer first?
No, I'll let you go.
Yes, but we never would be allowed to.
But like, if you guys didn't have the podcast,
we didn't have the podcast. I say yes, but then I think if the moment came, I would freak out. But I think I would eventually I would end up doing it if I think I would do it. I would have to work out a ton, like for like the 2 months leading up to it, because with the guys, it's there's gonna be a strip date, it's gonna be pools. I'm like, I gotta be jacked by that point, so I'd have to have like 2 months, 60 days prep minimum. But I would do it, I think.
Yeah, I would do it if I was single and not in a relationship, obviously. But
did you just?
I guess
did you just drop it?
No. I am.
Are you in a relationship, Mike?
No, I'm not.
I was like, wait, no. Mike, congrats.
No, I'm just saying, because you hear stories about people that like are in a kind of a relationship and then they'll break up with people to go on the show. Yeah. Like, I would never think about doing that.
And you have the restraining orders, so we got to worry about that.
I do not have a restraining order. Relax.
Would you go on, Taylor?
Not even a speeding ticket.
Would you go on The Bachelor?
No, I said at the end of filming, I said, turn the cameras back on. I will never do this. It's like, this is fun, but this day was enough for me.
Fair enough. All right. Anything else from Guys' Date? They tossed the rock over their head and made a wish, and Joan was just like, that was fun. Didn't really believe her there. It was just kind of anticlimactic there, but I don't know. Guy just doesn't give us a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't really excite me as a viewer. So sorry.
He's very into Joan, but he doesn't give us the audience much to work with.
Yeah, his facial expression is very, not plain, but like, I don't know. There's nothing there.
Yeah. Well, I guess to wrap up here, we normally will do like hot seat final predictions. Taylor, you can't really do that. Mike, what do you think? Mike, what do you think is going to happen here?
I saw the little preview for next week, Fantasy Suites, which I will not be able to watch live. I don't know when I'll get to watching that.
You should just have Taylor on next week to take your spot since you can't do it.
Bye.
Taylor just becomes a recurring guest.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some drama's gonna happen. We saw the whole Pascal like, turn the cameras away.
That's too great.
I don't know what that's gonna be. Maybe she's gonna end up engaged. I'm sorry. We're not gonna see a Jen Tran kind of situation. I really hope not, actually.
Yeah. Hopefully Chock has no restraining orders that we need to worry about, because that's been the running bit So
I
I
did
think we're
ask
good.
him. I was like, anything I don't know about that I need to like be worried about seeing, and he was like, no, I promise.
This has probably led to some wildly uncomfortable conversations with your dad, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, I was so happy. I saw an article, and it was like Joan saying she's doing no beds for fantasy suites.
Yes.
And as the child of a contestant, I love to hear that.
Oh yeah. I can't imagine if that
Yeah.
wasn't the case. So God bless Joan. She really is. She's killing it this season. She's fantastic. She seems like a wonderful lady. So yeah, I think I would have to guess Pascal goes home next week. That'd be my final prediction if I had to put money on it. And I think him saying like shoo the cameras away, I think what happens is Joan goes to Pascal to end things and she gets super upset and she like wants to step away and Pascal's comforting her and saying like step away, take your time, get the cameras away. And so he's being protective of her in that situation. That'd be my guess with that whole situation.
Yeah, I kind of hope Guy goes home just because he's less fun than Pascal. Personally,
I want more Pascal. Again, we need
Yeah.
spin-off shows of all these guys. I want Pascal just learning how to do basic things like bowling, laundry. I need that. I need
Oh my god.
uh-oh, Mike. What just
Oh my god. So you know how I got Daisy Kent, the Daisy ad,
we did.
right, by saying that thing?
You did?
Yeah.
We take credit for it. We brought it up first. And
Yeah,
then
we brought it up
Daisy,
on a podcast.
Daisy, we've talked with Daisy about it, and we were like, we've interacted with Daisy about it. And then 2 months later, she has these ads. So we haven't received any checks, but Mike
Yeah.
deserves something.
So you know how like the golden grannies, right? They're doing the Quaker ads this season,
Yeah.
right? They kind of been this Quaker ad. What if Pascal got Tide
Tide
or like
Pods.
Bounty, and they do, and then they get him, Mark, and like Charles to like do laundry
Yes.
when they're showing the Golden Bachelor next season.
That would
Would
be good.
Done. Again, we're not asking for much. Just send us a check.
Honestly, don't even send me a check. Just send me free Tide Pods. Those things are expensive. Oh my gosh.
And then we can do another spin-off. We can do a commercial with what does Peyton Manning do? Does it nationwide?
Yeah, or Peyton Manning.
Yeah, the Peyton Manning. We need
That's
some
nationwide,
kind
I
of
think.
like Chock and Peyton. They have to meet at some point.
And Nationwide's insurance. Chock does insurance.
We're just making money here for people.
I
We're
get
just
we
great
open
ideas.
our own
That one, I'll work on
advertising?
that.
Yeah, we have.
Should we
Yeah,
open our own advertising agency?
yeah. I think we're going down the wrong path here, Mike.
Gosh.
We need to be ideas guys. We need whiteboards around us and just jot down ideas all day.
What about who are your guys' geezers of the week?
Oh, Michael
True.
watches the show. Love that.
I've watched 2 of them. They were good.
Thank you. We appreciate that. My golden geezer of the week, I'm gonna give it to. I don't want to pander and give it to Chock just because you're here. That would feel
Can't hurt my feelings. I
be
promise.
disingenuous. My golden geezer. I'm not gonna pick a contestant in the show. It's Guy's friend Frank.
Wait, no, Jordan's friend.
Was it
Or-
Jordan's
No,
friend?
it was
It
Guy's.
was Guy's
no, it was
friend. Guy's friend Frank. This is the hardest I have laughed on this franchise, and is nothing against this guy, but the cut to him, he's on the shorter side. It's just I'm picturing him. I'll put the clip in on the show, but
Hi, everybody. I don't know what to do but say,
Come around.
my goodness, it was the hardest I've laughed. Something about the cutaway to him was so funny. Shout out to Frank. I'm sure you're amazing, and he gets my golden geezer of the week because it was the hardest I've laughed during this show. So good.
Yeah, my golden geezer of the week, I guess I'll just give to him because he went home and he's the only guy that I connected with on LinkedIn. Well, he's the only one I tried connecting with on LinkedIn, but he accepted my connection request, so we're boys now on LinkedIn. So Jordan will get my golden geezer of the
Also,
week.
number 1 overall pick. I picked him first overall, so good run.
I picked,
You did?
I picked Chock overall.
Oh, you did?
First overall.
Yeah, you picked Chock. I picked Jordan.
I thought you said your bracket was busted.
My team was better.
Yeah, it's a team. It's a team sport, and the rest of the team hasn't really showed up.
I
Well,
had
they're
the
all
rest of
gone.
the hometowns. I have Guy, I have Jordan, I have Pascal. So I've been putting up good
Okay.
numbers, and it's weekly, so we get points per rose ceremony. So I've had those guys for a while, and the lead's too big. He doesn't have enough to catch up, unfortunately. So that's a win for the wise guys.
Did you guys make your own bracket, or do you use that bracketology?
We use Bracketology. Shout out to them. They're awesome. We've paired up with them, so we've talked with them a lot. So we do that for our BachMakers League, and then we do our own, us two, and then we have our producer Lizzie. So we'll draft them before the season, so we don't know anything, and we'll just go from that. We also do PowerPoints. So yeah, I apologize though, because we do a deep dive for our PowerPoints, and I've definitely stalked your dad's Instagram way too much, way more than any person should ever do that.
Well,
So
that's
sorry.
how I found out about you guys, is because like, we saw that someone
Uh
sent
oh.
that to me, and then my brother and I were like, "Do we think he's talking about my brother or me?"
No comment. Didn't think we'd go get this far. Didn't think you'd see that episode. You've seen two of them. Sorry about
Oh
that.
wait! Oh wait! Oh my god! I totally forgot about dude. That felt like forever ago.
So long.
Oh my god! I totally forgot about
I
that.
totally
You want to know?
Yeah, you did that, Wyatt.
That's,
That's hilarious.
you know what? I literally, as we were recording this episode, I went back and I was like, what did we say about Chock on our
Dude,
PowerPoints? And then I read it and I was like, I'm probably not going to bring that one up right now.
we stalked a lot. Like I didn't have chalk, but the people I had, man, I got into the trenches because they got the same last name. They're probably family members. You got to do
Yeah.
all of the research. It's a full time job. I can't even wait. I can't wait for grant season. I love doing the bachelor ones though because it's just all the
It
all the
is fun
chicks,
doing
but-
the deep dive and making our PowerPoints. But yeah, I don't know how we got here, but your Mike, your golden.
We'll find the restraining orders before ABC does.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So Mike, your golden geezer was Jordan.
Yeah.
Taylor, who's your golden geezer?
I feel like I have to say my dad, or
Yeah.
I could give it. I kind of want to give a duo rose because I was watching with my little brother, and him and Pascal's son look like have the same like frat boy, like the boy that made you cry all of college look, and the way they talk, it just was. I was like, Tyler, I was like, there's your competition, buddy. I was like, you too. So I give it to both of them.
That's awesome. Shout out to Tyler. Maybe we'll get him on too if things go well, and we'll get just a family reunion on this show. Who knows? All right. Well, Taylor, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you doing this. Again, I'm sure it's hard watching your dad make out on national television. You are a warrior and a trooper. So, again, we hope all things go well on the Chock front. Hopefully we get you back on and we have some good news to talk about. So we'll leave it at that. Mike, you want anything else for Taylor before we let her go here?
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, boys.